Milwaukee Journal, Biden calls for tougher gun control laws after Madison, Wisconsin school shooting at Abundant Life Christian School. Issuing a press release almost immediately after this, which I find to be, I call it despicable. Biden says we need Congress to act now, from Newtown to Uvalde, Parkland to Madison, so many other shootings that don't receive attention. He says Jill and I are praying for all the victims today, including the teacher and teenage student that were killed and those who sustained injuries. He says we can never accept senseless violence that traumatizes children, their families, and tears entire communities apart. I just want to throw out there as we're getting going, Biden, where was your statement after the CEO was shot in the back by a deranged ideologue, allegedly? I think it's rather interesting that when it's cold-blooded murder in public, Democrats are nowhere to be found, except for those saying, well, murder's wrong, but. Yeah. Then when you get a tragedy like this, which of course is a tragedy, Democrats pop up immediately and try and push for these laws. It's very frustrating that they immediately go to the politically useful topic, which is gun control, and ignore. And when it comes to people that they are ostensibly aligned with, or people that ostensibly align with things the left thinks, they're silent. When Joe Biden's son breaks the law and commits a felony on his on a 4477, the form you fill out to get a gun, he lies on the form. He pardons him so that way he doesn't have to deal with the consequences. It's disgusting. It's absolutely par for the course, though. It is not unexpected. It is exactly what you would anticipate. Goes to a Christian school, which people will argue that Christians are not targeted. And again, I'm an agnostic, so like it's not like I'm the guy that's like, oh, you're attacking me because I don't identify as a Christian. But like, you're attacking Christians, and the only thing they have to say is the guns, right? The fact that the LGBTQ lobby has been as anti-Christian and going after Christians as long as they have, the whole the cake maker in Colorado, that was not about cakes. That was all about getting back at Christians because they hate Christians. They feel like the LGBTQ lobby feels like they've been persecuted by Christians, and they feel like now's the time for us to get them back. And this is the same kind of attitude. And I think it's disgusting that no one in the Democrat side will even address the realities of the situation. The only thing you hear is, well, gun control.
Yeah. Well, Biden, he implied that Kyle Rittenhouse was a white supremacist after the Kenosha shooting with absolutely zero evidence whatsoever. Good point. Just because he had some posts that supported Donald Trump. Like, okay, so then they make that leap. And it's just terrible to see these kinds of tragedies get turned into these political issues that, just trying to score points.
Politicians love turning dead children into human shields for their policy. Mm-hmm. That's their favorite thing.
No sympathy for CEOs. I get it. A teacher and a kid look, I'm sorry. I think life is valuable. Life is precious. Individuals have their more worth. But children being killed is substantially more heinous than an adult individual. But I look at both of them like there's weight to these. We try to figure out what we as a society are supposed to be doing and how we should react to these situations. I don't believe that gun control is the appropriate response. But I will stress that when it is alleged that a deranged leftist murdered a CEO for insane reasons that make no sense, there's not a peep. They don't care at all. Bernie Sanders comes out, and once again, you got Elizabeth Warren saying, look, it's bad, but people can only be pushed so far. Mm-hmm. Bernie Sanders defends her. I think he defended her twice now, saying, look, of course she's not condoning murder, but the people in this country, I'm like, stop saying that. These are unrelated. The issue of a CEO being shot in the back and killed is totally unrelated to the issue of healthcare. Mm-hmm. When Bernie and Warren say, but people can only be pushed so far, they're literally saying that they believe the assassination will make a difference in healthcare, that people are targeting them to make a difference. It won't. It makes no difference. Charlemagne the God, did you hear what he said about this?
No.
He was like, I don't understand why they're celebrating this. It's some father who died. Nothing changed. Prices aren't going down. Healthcare isn't changing. Literally everything stayed the same except that some dad, some guy who is a father of two is just dead. Why are you celebrating this?
And now they just have more security. That's
and more security, less transparency. So my point ultimately is these people are deranged ideologues. The fact that they dumped this political statement out so quickly is shockingly offensive. I'm not surprised. Biden is fried. He's selling off the border while Trump's calling him out over this. These people are despicable.
They don't care about kids. This is so fake to me. If they cared about kids, they wouldn't want to cut off their genitals. Like they literally sacrifice their children all the time, and they use this as a an example to set the policy of taking the guns away, which is what they do want to do. They don't want you to be armed. They don't like you.
How many abortions are carried out every year?
Dude, it's a stupid amount.
I mean, is
one
it,
is too much.
Is it millions? Is it actually millions?
Yeah, I think it's millions.
You know, I haven't looked at that, but I mean, there's not a the left is pro
73 million worldwide.
73 million abortions per year are carried out, and there are
1
roughly
million.
1 million. Yeah,
there are roughly 10,000 murders with firearms in the year in every year in the United States.
We don't hear about Chicago,
and you don't. And
that's the other thing.
It is, the Democrats have such a warped view of the left. Let's call it the left, because I would like to see the normal Democrats come back. But the left has such an absolutely disgustingly warped view of the world. They literally believe evil is good and good is evil. It's as flipped upside down as you possibly can be. And I think that there have been signs for this for a long time. I mean, when Michelle Wolf, I think her name is, when she did the "Shout Your Abortion" skit on I think it was on Colbert show. I thought
No, it was on her show.
Was it on her show?
She had a show
Which
on
got
Netflix.
canceled shortly.
Okay. Right? Yeah.
I mean, that was repugnant. And I was talking to a Democrat trying to explain to this person. I was like, listen, I understand that you care about, a woman being able to have the choice to have an abortion or not. I get it. But don't you see that the people that are working against you, the right, the pro-life people, when they see Michelle Wolf doing "Shout Your Abortion," they think that woman is a literal ghoul in the actual dictionary definitional terms of what a ghoul is, like celebrating death. That's exactly what she's doing. And then they tell us, they tell us that we're supposed to be like, oh, you have to get rid of your guns, even though the people that legally own guns in the United States are the most law-abiding citizens in the country. Of all the groups that you could possibly, all the different ways that you could possibly group people, the people that own guns and have firearms as a hobby or have them for self-defense are the most law-abiding Americans in the country. And those people have to give up their rights because someone misused a firearm. Not, every person that's a gun owner would condemn it, every single one. But then again, they'll go ahead and they'll be like, look, you got to be able to kill babies, and look, man, you got to understand that people are mad. So when this guy shoots a CEO in the back like a coward, you got to go ahead and you got to give him a little leeway. It is disgusting. The left in the United States is completely and totally free to say the most atrocious, heinous, vile, evil things. Just go to Blue Sky and look at the way they talk.
Oh, dude.
Well, shout out to Alex Rosen for catching all those people using Blue Sky.
But this is funny. It's like when you create a MAGA version of Twitter like Parler or Truth, they're all saying like, no more bad things. We don't want bad people. We want accountability. And when you make a liberal version, it's a whole bunch of deranged fetishists and pedos all like just look.
So like half of DC.
Yeah, it's funny. I called it the pool filter of modern society. It's good that it exists, and I'm glad they launched it because all of the refuse is being filtered out of X. We don't need those weird lunatics over here. You know, we don't want none of that.
Yeah, I'm glad. It's crazy though. They're bloodthirsty, like what Phil's saying. They have bloodlust, and then you saying that makes me think of Chaz.
Yeah,
these places you saw. They're bloodthirsty, and then they
gave up the police precinct. Carmen Best, who was the first female and the first black police commissioner in Seattle's history, capitulated the East Precinct to the protesters. And what was the first thing that they did after they took over the 6-block area? They created not walls, but barriers.
She should be in jail.
They put up barriers, and they put armed guards at the barriers. So the first night we were in Chaz, we interviewed a kid who, I'm not even kidding you, had a needlepoint. I have a photo of it in the book. A needlepoint belt that was holstering a Desert Eagle that was swinging around as he was swinging around. And I go, dude, that's a pretty interesting holster you got there. He's like, oh yeah, my mom made it. I'm like, you couldn't even, if I made that up, you would say that there's no way.
Didn't innocent kids die at Chaz, or was that?
So yes,
Atlanta?
at the end of Chaz was shut down after not one, but 2 black kids, 19 and 16 years old, were killed. And my question that I ask in the book is, all these companies, major corporations that are based in Seattle, they're donating hundreds of millions of dollars to Black Lives Matter and related causes. Yeah. Did they donate to those kids' families?
Of course not.
Of course not, because they don't care about kids. They care about their favorite language, which is violence to obtain power.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.